video with Cadbury the Mustang. We have some pretty exciting plans coming up to head down to Virginia to a friend of mine that's going to help me get him started under saddle. And to do that, there are a lot of pieces that I want to try to help prepare him for that have nothing to do with having a saddle on your back. So sometimes people think about, riding and the goal, and they get so stuck on the things that they want to do with their horse. And the things that actually help them in this case would be getting him really comfortable around me and getting him to be trusting that I can take his body and do different things with it. Sometimes people get really caught up on the task of riding and they think, okay, we gotta do the saddle, we gotta do jumping up by his belly, like there's a lot of pieces, and it makes sense for sure, but we also wanna make sure that I can do regular things like picking out his hooves, which is something that got put on the back burner because while I was super pregnant, not very easy to bend over, and then had that emergency C-section, so also not easy to bend over. So now I'm starting to do those types of things, and they will help prepare him to be able to head down to Virginia to get started under saddle. And I'm excited to go because instead of just me starting him by myself, I have a friend down there that you're gonna get to meet and see what he's up to. But he has plans to do a colt starting competition next year. And he's done lots of horse starting, worked with lots of different Mustangs, and already has a lot of experience, but the more experience, the better. So I'll get to have some help, which will be great. One of the things too that's important with working with horses and just kind of doing things in general in life is it's okay to ask for help. And so for me, even though I've started lots of horses, I still have to remember that I had that really bad accident a year and a half ago now, where I fractured my skull, multiple brain hemorrhages, and the doctors have warned me, like, you cannot survive another head injury that bad again. You are super lucky to be walking, talking, and doing the things that I'm doing. So it's better to ask for help with the process and some of the first pieces. Like, I don't know, is it gonna be me who puts the foot in the stirrup for the first time, or is it gonna be my friend? We're gonna find out when I head down there. But in the meantime, let me show you some of the things I'm doing to help make sure that he's ready for when we get down to Virginia, so we can start his journey of hopefully having a rider on his back. And not everything's gonna be definitely about riding. So let's take a look at now picking up his feet, which is something that we're working on, and starting to use the hoof pick, which has nothing to do with riding if you think about it in that logical way, but it actually has a lot to do with riding because it's him trusting to give me a foot, which means that I take away his source of power or being able to run away. So this is a key thing for trust, which will set us up for success with the riding part too.
All right, so here's a look at picking up his feet. So this is a new-ish thing that we're working on, is actually picking up the hooves. I know you guys are getting a booty shot right now, but I was trying to show you guys picking up his feet and how that's going. I'm standing a little bit to the side so you can kind of see. And he has those moments where he pulls his foot a little bit, but I just try to be polite, be patient, and then when he gets it, put his foot down gently and politely and give him his cookie for a reward and go slowly to the next one. I try to touch pretty gently as I guide him over so there's room for me beside the rail there. And then with the hind feet, it's pretty normal that when you're teaching them the back feet that they're a little bit more protective of their back legs than their front legs. And a big part of that is because those are their kicky legs, but also their power legs to be able to get away and run away. So you can see he does those moments where he tries, he literally kind of threatens. He's like, I'm going to kick you. I don't like that you're at my leg. And I don't add any emotion to the situation by getting mad or smacking him because that would just make him fearful. So I just try to stand in a space where I'm not going to get kicked and stay politely persistent, where I'm not like snatching his leg and holding it super intensely. I'm just kind of guiding, holding, and then I wait for him to be good. And as long as we can finish on a good note, he still gets his cookie. Because this is new, picking out his hind hooves. This is brand new, had not done that before. I'd done his front feet before, but this is the first time doing the back feet. And with the front feet, like here, you're gonna see he's rocking his weight back. He's kind of, oh no. And when he does that, all I do is lift up his foot a little higher so that way it's a little harder for him to push his weight down and slam his foot down away from me. Because I want to be patient and just kind of show him, look, it's okay, we're doing a little bit, you earn your cookie. Another real key thing here is I'm not holding his foot up for a very long period of time. It's a pretty short lift, wait for a polite, like just kind of standing there and letting me actually do your feet. And you can see he's standing really nicely there. He's letting me pick out the hoof. He brings it up and kind of threatens a little bit. So I'm like, okay, that I'm going to have to redo this a little bit, make sure I have some nice moments. So I just politely pick up that foot. I try to hold it in a position that's comfortable for him and not scary, and continue to do a little bit of the hoof, and then politely put it down on my terms, because I don't want to reward him for stomping his foot away from me. So this is one of the great things about using positive reinforcement, is that all I can do is just withhold Cookie, and that's enough to kind of teach him that he hasn't quite done the thing that I'm asking him to do. So this here is now setting him up to be able to go on the trailer down to Virginia. He needs to be able to go into the narrow space, go onto that slant load, and put the divider up. So what I'm doing here is mimicking what it's going to be kind of like in the trailer, where he's going into a narrow space between a wall and those tall standards. So it's something kind of high and tall. And then I'm rubbing him with the pool noodle to kind of simulate if I were to shut the divider on him, which is a supportive wall for him to have as a way to lean in the trailer and have more balance. So it is a good thing to be able to put him in the trailer with the dividers. And you can see he was a little bit worried about that. But also, as he's in this space, I'm working on helping him understand that things might touch him, because who knows if the lead rope might fall and touch him or whatever it is. So it's primarily training him for the trailer, getting him ready so he'll be able to have a low stress loading experience, because I want him to be happy all the way down. I don't want him freaking out or starting off the trip in a bad way. But also this is helping for riding as well, because it's getting him to start to practice being okay in narrow spaces, like not being claustrophobic, which for riding, it's going to be stuck in between that tight space of a rider on top. There, I slowed it down just to show you how he paused to poo, which is a sign of stress. So even though he's handling things pretty well, it's just a feedback for me of like, okay, like this is nerve-wracking for him, and to make sure that I'm calm and patient and rewarding him when he's doing well. And so this here is a little clip at the end of how I finished this particular session working on the noodle, is where I have the rope really slack and rubbed him all over, give him his little cookie, and then I'm going to back him out, because just like how on the horse trailer we would back out, then that's how we're going to do that. So I wanted to practice that here. So now I'm like raising the level of difficulty, where I'm bringing out a little bridge to be able to have that step up feature, because when we do the trailer loading, it's going to be stepping up onto the trailer. My trailer is not a ramp trailer. It's got a step up, which to me is easier for trailer loading than a ramp, because horses sometimes slip on the ramp and then it scares them even more. Whereas the step up, they just have to take like 1 foot up. So it tends to work a lot better. And when you go to pick up Mustangs that are wild at the holding facilities, you actually have to have a step up. They don't accept having a ramp trailer going there to pick them up, which is, pretty interesting. So that's another reason why I have the step up. And so we are literally practicing stepping up, standing on the bridge. And in the beginning, he wasn't comfortable and he had to go forward off the bridge. But now we're practicing being able to step up and then being able to wait and stay and not feel the need to just like run out of the situation or go really fast through it. So I'm purposely having him go through the standards and the bridge without me, because that's going to be more similar to how it is in the trailer. And the better I can set him up for understanding what he's supposed to do, practicing the step up, practicing the narrow spaces, practicing stopping there, practicing doing these things without me going over the bridge first, is going to help with safety, but also help with his understanding. And here I am backing him off of the bridge, so he steps down off of the bridge. So it's pretty similar to being on a trailer. So that's a bunch of my steps with getting a horse better for trailer loading. Let me know what you guys think of the whole process.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.